Well, wait, hit record. We're recording now, I think. We don't need to go live on this one, by the way, because I feel like the technical issues that we already have. We're gonna have many technical issues the first run.
Yeah, let's protect ourselves on this one.
Yeah, just in case we never want to put it out. I think that's the best option.
Yeah, let's not start by putting it out. Yeah, good move.
Yeah, exactly. I think we should say so. This is tentatively called Breaking Balls. This podcast. I did find another podcast called Breaking Balls. That's like a serious sports podcast, and I don't think this is what I would call a serious sports podcast.
I'm insulted.
Well, I know that your journalism degree is being put into question here. So,
dude, I've been making calls all game, man. I got some good nuggets coming up.
Cavin, did you watch the football game?
I mean, I had it on. I'm not a great person to have a football game on. I get ADD real bad.
That's okay, as long as you're. By the way, like I spend most of the game like trying to explain to my mom and my wife what they've missed because they weren't watching either. I'm not trying to say that you're my mom and my wife, but you share some.
I mean, combined weight total probably close.
Okay. Did everybody? So this is my other question about that is, do you guys drink when you watch sports?
Yeah, most of the time. I didn't this time. I'm high every day, so that's just a given. But yeah, every now and then when I'm like, hey, this needs a little bit extra, I'll have a little whiskey, have a beer or something. But yeah.
You're from the South, so whiskey's got to be like you guys that's like apple juice in the Northwest.
Yeah, basically, yeah. They put it in my bottle when I was a kid and stuff.
Yeah.
I've had hair on my chest since I was like 3 years old.
Oh wow, that would be a creepy 3-year-old, I gotta say.
It's normal down there, dude. Don't do that.
Did you ever try to? We were joking about journalism. Did you ever? There was a time when I genuinely thought I was going to be a sports journalist. That's what I wanted to do.
No, I never. Outside of like comedy, I never thought that I could do anything else. Like that seemed so far away. Like my parents weren't very like, yeah, you could go do anything. They were like, your uncle has a plant job. If you want to go you should do that. Like that was my experience. So no, other than comedy, I never had dreams. That was.
Cavin has like a real career though.
Yeah, I mean, it's not great. I don't love it, but I mean, I have it.
Listen, that's the bullshit that people get is like this idea that you have to love your career is so much bullshit. I mean, yeah, we're all aspiring for this long shot of a career. Chase is going to be dead in the gutter in 6 years, but the like.
What with the hairiest chest you've ever
Yeah. It's at least one layer of protection for sure. If you try to stab me or something, you got to really make it count.
Yeah, you got to have it's a lightweight Kevlar on your chest. I've talked to people that are like, oh yeah, well that's like really that person's dream to do that, so that's why they're pursuing that like very stupid career and leeching off of other people. And it's like, who the fuck said you get to enjoy your career? Like that's only the luckiest, most talented, and good-looking people, which none of us are, get to really love their career.
Yeah, I guess so, man. I think with some of those people, like with their career, it's not necessarily what they're doing. It's just like they love money. So right. Like, yeah, it's like as long as I get money at the end of this, I don't really care what the before part is.
Yeah. What's the worst job you guys have had?
Man, one summer, my like best friend, his dad, like, just gave out random jobs at plants and stuff. There was like a staffing type thing. And so he talked me into like, yeah, my dad could hook us up making like $13, $14 an hour, which is like the craziest amount of money I'd ever heard at that time. And it ended up just being like, just like I was just cutting grass in this fucking hot ass field in the middle of Ponchatoula, Louisiana. At like 100.
That's not a real city. That's not a real fucking city. That's not a real city name.
You heard me right, sir. Ponchatoula, Louisiana. And yeah, we lasted like 2 days. We're soft. I was just soft. We're just hour drive every day. Had to be there at 6 a.m, just not built for it. Yeah, that would just beat me up. Like, I don't know if the job it was really just maintaining a plant, but I just couldn't handle it. I couldn't do it at all.
Ponchatoula sounds like the name. Like if I said Ponchatoula, Louisiana, you'd be like, "All right, dude, I get it, Ponchatoula." Like we have crazy names. Like that sounds like a name you would use to make fun of Louisiana city names.
Yeah, you don't have to do that. You could just pick actual cities in Louisiana. They all sound cartoony like that. All right, I'll tell you a story about Natchitoches, Louisiana. You ready for that?
That sounds fake too.
Like you guys reached into a thing of Scrabble tiles and just tried to make words.
The French version, though. It's the French version of Scrabble.
Pierre Park. You like that?
Well, they really like, and maybe this is just the cartoonish version of Louisiana people, but they really seem to lean into the French accent too. Like Lafayette, like it's that weird like Southern effeminate and French city name that really, yeah, they're really like they're doing too much with those names, I think.
It's beautiful. It sounds beautiful. I don't know what y'all are hating on. Lafayette sounds more interesting than any fucking boring city around here, okay?
Wow. Sorry, Chase Myers hates Native Americans, okay? That's every city here is named after a Native American tribe. And Chase Myers, what a shocker. The guy from the South hates Native Americans.
I hate that you can always pull that card on me.
Okay, well, anytime there's anything potentially racist, for sure. I did have this thing happen today, to get back to the Super Bowl. I was listening to an NPR podcast, and they called them the Kansas City football team, which they said the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Kansas City football team. Now, first off, I think you probably get rid of the Arrowhead Stadium, you get rid of the Arrowhead logo, and I'm with you. I didn't know we had extended the football team thing from the Washington football team. Because remember when people were doing that for a couple of years?
Well, no, I mean, that's what they are. They are
that's what they are now.
Yeah.
That's what they are now. But there were like principled people who were calling them the Washington football team.
Yeah, I heard a lot of people were just like, I'm only going to call them Washington. They just Washington. Like they would just leave out the actual name.
Yeah, and that's like, and now they're doing that with the Chiefs. And I think like part of the thing is, if we want to get rid of chief, the word chief from like, first off, I don't even think there are chiefs in Native American tribes. I did zero research on this. My suspicion is that word existed in English before, but like police chief, fire chief, we have every executive at a goddamn, the CFO, the CEO, the COO, like these are all chiefs. We got a lot of chiefs in this country.
These are all chiefs, yes. I don't know if it helps with that argument, but yes, those are all chiefs.
I mean, frankly, we had probably more chiefs before the corporations took over and the Americans, the settlers took over. There might have been more chiefs than there are now. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if chief is like, so I could see getting rid of like the Arrowhead logo and the shit. So they said on the broadcast, or on that, no, they said on that NPR podcast that like all of the like, you can't come to Arrowhead Stadium anymore with like a headdress or war paint or anything like that. And they wouldn't let you do
steps.
Right. Yeah, and they wouldn't let you do that in Tampa either, apparently. However, I don't know is Chief like inherently Native American? I don't think that it's.
No, bro,
I think the way they're portraying it is, yeah. I don't think there's any question that this is a Native American. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's inside of a goddamn arrowhead. Like, I get that. But if they just changed it to like, I don't know what else could symbolize.
So you wanted to be like a little businessman? You wanted to be...
This is what I want. I want an organizational chart, like a structure, and then I want to see they're just the chief executive row. That's what I want.
I like it.
Yeah, that's their new logo. I got a new logo for the Kansas City Chiefs. The Kansas City Chief Executive Officers would be pretty fun. Kansas City CEOs.
I'm in. Right. I'm all in. I mean, let's clean this league up, dude.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, I just don't know how you made it a French word. And we went from French back to French. This is very circular.
Wait, what's the French word?
Chief is French.
Oh, chief is French?
Yeah.
Oh, I had no idea.
Which was weird because it doesn't have an extra useless syllable in it like every other goddamn French word.
So do we have to go back and retroactively change Chief Keef's name?
We do. That's what we have to do now.
So wouldn't you rather root for
Manager
Kansas City
Keefe?
Chief Keefs?
Yeah, I like that. If they go with that, I'd be into that, I think. Okay, so the game happens. People are in person. 7,500 medical professionals were, I think, everyone's given free tickets. All of them were given free tickets, but it's all like, can you imagine, by the way, like an X-ray tech in Tampa, how annoying that guy has to be? That's got to be an annoying person.
Why you say that?
Well, maybe it's my prejudice against the South and specifically Tampa and Florida, but like,
yeah, that's why I need to hear it. What do you say?
Here's the thing. I think that, by the way, I don't mind a medical professional. I like a doctor. I like a nurse. As you move down into the certificate jobs, I was actually thinking about being an X-ray tech at one time. This is like that. You don't have to love your career thing. Cause I was like, oh, they make like 60 grand a year. That'd be great. I would hate it, but that would be, you have to like deal with broken bones this is what I misjudged about myself. If I watch a broken bone video, please don't bring one up, Cavin. But if I watch a broken bone video, it ruins my entire fucking week. And I thought my job could be just like dealing with real life broken bones in person every day. But I don't think I think that the further you get down the list, I think the less, the further you get away from being a nurse or a doctor, I think those become like more blue collar jobs. And I've worked with blue collar folks in my life, and I think the ones in Tampa seem like they might be worse than the median of the rest of the country. I underestimated how much having Cavin just sit here and judge us silently would fucking...
Man, I am representing all the phlebotomists that you apparently... Look, they just want to sip their Bud Light Limes and enjoy a Jeff Dunham special, and you got to shit on them. Then again, I don't know. Do you want the guy handling your blood to have a Southern accent? Sorry, Chase. I don't mean to go after you, but there's something about it. Like, he's dipped his finger in it and tasted at least one vial.
But you don't understand. The people that are getting it says also have the accent, so it's not weird. Like we don't have that extra bit that you guys are looking into this with. We're just talking to somebody that sounds like us. It seems very comforting, actually, that Tampa Bay jackass is X-raying me. I'm very comfortable with that person. Person I'm not comfortable with is the person that enunciates every bit of what they say. That I don't like. I don't like that you take every word so seriously. Okay, that's an extra level of detail that puts me at a discomfort. Okay.
Does Chase looks a little bit like he could be one of Jeff Dunham's puppets? Do we agree on that?
What does that mean? Stop taking shots at me, Casey.
I think that Chase needs to gain weight or lose head, I think is what needs to happen.
I got a lot of head action going on.
You got a head to body ratio that's out of whack. That's puppet.
I understand. Which is weird because I actually do have like a small head. This is just a camera angle situation. Most of whenever I had long hair was to like make my head seem bigger. It was like I was like peacocking a little bit. I just like had it out there.
You had like a 70s Jersey girl haircut.
Yeah, man.
Did you ever owned a bump it in your life? Okay, I have some facts about this very Super Bowl. Oh, I was gonna say I don't drink during sporting events anymore. That's a
I remember when we were talking about that.
Yeah, which is because I'm a serious journalist, and this is a serious journalistic endeavor that we're taking part in now, and I wanted to take it seriously. Some of us didn't. Some of us can't even hook their fucking microphone up to their computer. But I
got a lot of heart, Casey. I got a lot of heart. I really wanted it to work. Just stick with us; it'll be there. I promise.
Chase, you got to the game late. Did you start it from the beginning of the coverage, or did you start at the beginning of the game?
Beginning of the game. So I missed any like pregame coverage.
Gotcha. So they had that Amanda Gorman, who is the poet laureate that spoke at the inauguration, at the presidential inauguration. And I had the same reaction. My wife got so mad at me while I was pointing this out. But the cadence of spoken word poetry is so fucking embarrassing. It's like all choppy, and like every time there is a rhyme, they change the tempo of their speech. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, I do. Yeah.
Yeah. It's so that lady is brilliant. I'm not denying her brilliance, but I wish that she would just give it I wish she would just say the things in equal sized sentences, like equal syllable sentences or whatever, instead of like I can't do the like revving up and down without laughing, especially, by the way, when it's got like the NFL, it's like he has Wi-Fi, like they're talking about stuff that's like not maybe in her passion wheelhouse, right? Because we're talking about the Super Bowl, so there's some like kind of corporate influence on this poem.
Also, so I didn't see it. So the poem was about the Super Bowl? Like it was about football?
It wasn't not about football. There was a point.
I thought it was going to be about like, peace on earth and making progress and stuff. That's what I thought the poem was going to be about. I didn't know she was going to try to fit in Tyrann Mathieu in the middle of it.
Yeah, did you watch it? Did you watch that at all, Cavin? Are you an English teacher?
I am. I'm not. Yeah, I'm kind of curious. Did it have a product placement? Did she have spoken word product placement?
No, but she talked about like a guy providing internet or something like that, which is just like, that doesn't feel like a poetry thing to me, to like be like pumping up an IT guy, you know? Like,
no, it's like
I don't think he was an IT guy. I think he was probably like providing, whatever.
Yeah, no,
internet to
like
low
sad wheelbarrows and shit. You don't pump up the the unsung heroes of the IT world.
I just wish we could do that with other stuff to like really highlight how silly that like cadence is, because I find the cadence obnoxious and it distracts me from the message, and I believe that the message is good, not only because the part that I heard it sounded good, but also because the time we live in, I have to assume they're not bringing some monster up to deliver this poem. Poetry is not my thing also, by the way, like that's fine. But that cadence, I want like, I would like it if like in court, like the jury, when they gave the verdict, they did it like in that cadence, we found the defendant, like it's really obnoxious. I hate it. I hope this hasn't turned everyone off, but.
Man, what drives me crazy about poets and like live poetry is like they say like comics, like we're supposed to like be comfortable with silence and stuff, but none of us actually are. Right. Those motherfuckers are like they just deliver with confidence to nothing over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And then at the end, people snap because they're like, I've seen this before. This is what we're supposed to do. But but it doesn't affect them. I can say every one of them like thinks very highly of themselves. Like they have a lot of self-confidence. Like, and poems are just as dirty. Like I did an open mic one time after like a poetry reading type thing. And dude, like 5 of the 8 poems had something to do with fisting. Like it was like the most disgusting thing. I was just marching around the back mad for comedy. I was like, they talk about us being disgusting. What is this going on? Like, I'm not into it either.
Yeah, it's got to be tough to know when you're doing spoken word poetry, like if it's going well, because we have like these very obvious things. You're like, sensitivity of your measuring device in your mind has to be so much higher when you don't get a laugh, you don't get a reaction until the end, when it's all snaps at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that thing you said actually about how like everybody that snaps at the end is just imitating shit they've seen before. That's kind of what I feel like that cadence is. It's like if we all decided we were going to do Stephen Wright, like every comedian is using Stephen Wright's cadence. I'd be like, oh, this is like, it really, is annoying that Kevin Hart is going up and doing Stephen Wright's cadence,
That would be amazing.
I would love it.
I want that to be his next special.
Okay. I've stumbled onto greatness, but I think my point is legitimate still.
Let me back off of greatness real quick to make my point.
Did you ever do the 95 slideshow, Chase?
No.
Oh, there was this show. Oh, it was called. The show was called Hip Poetica in Seattle, in Capitol Hill.
Oh, okay. No.
It was so I think this is the exact wrong order to have these 3 parts of the show be in. It was it started out with like low or like local, like almost open mic level hip hop, live hip hop, when I did it twice, and the only time I ever went and watched like part of the hip hop show, it's like 3 dudes like rapping and dancing in the like crowd. Like it's like a small, it would be like, it's not even a concert venue. It's like a lounge where like literally a booth, they would just like take a table out and that was the stage. And So these dudes are like literally in the audience dancing with the audience. And then next up is Casey McLain's stand-up comedy. And then the thing after that, this is what got me. So it wasn't, I think there was a little bit of a buffer. So they got to see somebody that's, believe it or not, actually lower energy than me on stage. And then like, I felt like a step up. But the next thing was spoken word poetry. So it goes live, energetic hip hop music, down to stand-up comedy, down to spoken word poetry.
Yeah. Everybody get real sleepy at the end. We're just going to slowly bring this down.
Right. The thing that's hardest to pay attention to and requires the most of your attention is going to be after your fourth and fifth drinks.
Right.
It was a bad order, I think.
Yep. Yeah, poetry goes first. It always goes first. Also, that's when people are most attentive and willing to listen to that.
Yeah, and it's like a good energy, like you're like raising the energy the whole time. The other thing that would happen is the host was not a comic. He was like the guy that booked it didn't do any performance on it, and the host was like a hip hop guy, not a comic. Mm-hmm. And so his introductions would be like super like high energy hip hop beats, him dancing on the stage, and then he would say your name and you'd come up, which I have never matched that energy on a stage in my entire life.
Yeah, I don't know how you could.
Yeah.
Whenever I did the NACA like auditions or whatever for colleges, that's the way those shows are too. It's like just random. Like, it'll literally be like a dude ripping off Family Feud and calling it like, you know, Family Spat or something. And he's like, I'll come do this at your school. And then the next guy's like a juggler. And then, but like, same thing. I had like a full on, like a really good like rap group go on before me. And the audience that you're performing for are all like the decision maker at the school and 5 freshmen. So that's like who you're performing for, that they like, you know what I'm saying? And so like rap group, everybody's up and dancing and having a good time. Everybody understands this is fun. We can do this at our school. And then like same thing, host comes up and he's just like, he's just like, I am a host. I want to host TV stuff. Like that's kind of his thing. And he's like, who loves karaoke? I love karaoke. And then fucking Journey starts playing. They're all singing, like everybody standing up. And then it's like, everybody calm down. 23-year-old nervous ass Chase is going to come up here. He's way over his head. Let's watch it happen. Here we go. And then like I just went up there and begged people to like me for 10 minutes.
Oh my God. That, and if I understand that correctly too. Well, what do you think is more embarrassing, to do like a show where the audience doesn't want you there and you're a musician, or a comedian?
What's worse?
Yeah, because I feel like
comedian.
Well, let me. I think the reason we think that is because comedy or music doesn't rely on like audience reaction, right? Like your guitar plays the same. We've all, I think, probably heard that shit where people say that like if comedy's music, then the audience is an instrument or some shit like that. Have you ever seen a singer like genuinely give effort with nobody? Like, to me, what music is like when you see a high energy comic do like a show with 2 people in it. That's way more embarrassing to see them keep the exact same energy despite there only being 2 people in it. And I feel like music is 100% those people. So it's like, if you're performing for 2 people, you're performing your balls off for 2 people. Where like I'm a cynic or whatever, so I can just go like, oh yeah, you know, this is fucking stupid, and talk to these people and completely abandon my act. Where like with music, you're just playing those fucking songs, man.
There's something too though, like with music, you can like lose yourself in the groove. Like there's no losing myself in my jokes. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm up there performing, at a certain point, you can be given that energy, but you're like, it don't matter, dude. I'm just trying to catch a vibe and just got like, you can have that moment. I need you to be paying attention to me for anything to happen. Even if I did abandon it and try talking to you, I've done that. And then be like, no, dude, we don't want that either. Like, not that. Like, could you play a song or something so we don't have to pay attention to your needy ass? Like, I don't know, man. I still think I would rather be the musician. Like,
Yeah, maybe. I agree with what you're saying about not losing yourself in the joke, I suppose. I don't know. I think that outside of not having any musical talent, I don't think I could get past the part of being a musician where you have to like sing your heart out in front of just the producer, like just the engineer. Like, in just a room alone, like really give it up, I had a hard time just looking at Cavin's face right now. It's tough right now.
It's really messing with you. I can see.
Yeah,
you're okay.
I'm sorry. I'll try to be more engaged with your material. Casey.
I feel like what's going on with Cavin right now. This is what I feel like is happening. Is I talked to Cavin yesterday. I've talked to him a lot about throughout the pandemic about like this kind of thing, and I was like, hey man, we're doing this thing. If it's fun for you, maybe we'll keep doing it, but would you be willing to try it out tomorrow? And I feel like he's already like before we got through the first part, he's just like, fuck, why did I gotta have Casey. Because I'm doing his podcast probably right after this, and he's like, I guess I have to fucking stick around for this stupid assholes.
No, you don't
idea.
get it. I've been locked up for the pandemic for so long. I'm just happy to see other faces that aren't mine on a screen.
Hey.
And you got like this is like 85% of your face. By the way.
Like, myself, if I took better care of I'm seeing Ghost of Christmas Past, and it's not great for me.
We're also like almost the same age, so we're like butterfly effect.
Oh, yeah.
You made like two different decisions, and you would have been me.
Well, I am like the guy in Butterfly Effect. Like,
okay, I'll be honest. I've never seen the movie. Okay, can we talk? So the Weeknd. First off, I didn't realize how famous the Weeknd is. He did the halftime show. My wife was like, she's like, I don't think he's big enough to do the halftime show, and I was like, all right, let's just check this before we all just agree against this guy because it might just be an age thing. And so I go, who do you think is big enough to perform at the halftime show? And she's like, I don't know, like Billie Eilish. And then my mom said Faith Hill. You guys are familiar with these people, I assume?
Very familiar.
Yeah. That was the only music Chase was allowed to listen to.
Yeah. It's good stuff over
there. And so I pulled it up, and the Weeknd. So Faith Hill has 1.2 million Twitter followers. Billie Eilish, I actually was like surprised. She has 5.2 million Twitter followers, and the Weeknd has 14 million Twitter followers. So that put to bed like I'm missing. I knew some songs. I knew some of the halftime show songs. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that I'm above enjoying a song by the Weeknd, but I completely missed like the whatever his rise to fame is and how big he is. Which Cavin, do you have that video? Where this is like the first voyage on this, so this could.
Let's go.
Is that your Atlanta one you want?
Yeah. So this is the Weeknd got some plastic surgery, and I just want to play this thing. If you're familiar with the show Atlanta, there's a character on there named Teddy Perkins who's in the most recent season. And I just I don't know how we're going to distribute this video, if it's going to be, because it's so illegal to have this video playing on now it's just like a Zoom chat.
It's fair use, man. It's fair use.
Oh yeah, here we go. Teddy Perkins, season 2, episode 6 of Atlanta. This is what the Weeknd's new face reminds me of. Oh, we don't have sound. Hold on. Did you share your sound?
It might be better if we don't have sound, though. It might not get taken down that way. We just need to see that is what the most famous pop star.
so yeah, maybe if we just keep talking over it, even if there's a little bit of sound.
Around right now.
So Teddy Perkins,
he's walking around looking like.
Do you see what I'm talking about though? Like that dude's face. Like when I saw the Weeknd's new face, it looks like they put a face on top of his face.
Yeah.
This is Donald Glover this Teddy Perkins is Donald Glover. Like obviously with a fair amount of makeup and a mask of some kind on. But this is what I should have just linked to a picture of it. Can you look up the Weeknd's face? Boy, I feel like this feels like a real show now. This is I feel abusive now. I didn't know it was gonna feel abusive to be like, hey, can you do this fucking chore for me for free? We
I thought
have
that's
to be.
brought me on for originally. So it's like when they're talking to me, I'm like, oh, I feel special, and then now I just know I'm here to work.
Yeah, but we gave you a good 25 minutes of FaceTime before we started making you work. I feel like that's
true.
fair. That's
true.
So here's my Weeknd thing. I was aware of the Weeknd. I was a little familiar. It's not like I knew all of this stuff, but I've known like his last couple albums have all went to #1, and he's got all these. Yeah,
look at that. That is a darker skinned Teddy Perkins from Atlanta. It's upsetting. It looks like, well, I saw someone say this. This wouldn't be my original joke, but that he looks like his own Celebrity Deathmatch character.
Oh, dude, that's great. That's amazing. He's been doing this for like the last year or so, and I didn't quite. It was one of those things that like just too much shit has been going on for the last year for me to pay attention to pop star like like trying to get famous shit. Like I didn't. And so I finally, whenever I saw this something we were gonna be talking about, I was like, okay, today's the day I finally figure out what the fuck is going on. Why is he doing this? And apparently he's doing this all just based off of his last album. It's supposed to be like he's been showing up to award shows for last year, like bandaged up and with like bloody noses and stuff. And it's supposed to be like almost like a hangover type thing, like, oh, wild night in Vegas. And he's also doing some kind of weird, like making fun of people that feel like they need to have plastic surgery, but like also you're walking around like that all the time. So I don't know. Like, I don't know, but one day his face is going to be normal again. That's from what I understand. Is that
really? He's going to pull all the shit out of his face? Like
some of this has just been like makeup and stuff that he's been putting on when he goes out. Like I think this is literally just to promote this past album over the last year. Like if you even watched tonight when he performed, like it wasn't like that. Like it wasn't as puffy as that. Like it was toned down. Like he's basically turning into like a character whenever he does this.
Wait a second, though. Is this photo from tonight?
This photo is from his, like, I think it's from the music video.
Oh, okay.
One of tonight.
Yeah, because I agree that it didn't look exactly like this tonight, but I thought that there's definitely, like, when he smiles, you could see, like, there's something going on.
There's some Joker action going on there with it. Like, the Pepsi commercial that they've shown for the last, like, 3 months promoting the halftime show, like, that one, his face is jacked up in that one. Like, that one... Yeah, that one, he looks pretty messed up. But yeah, apparently this is like kind of just like promotion for the album.
Is like some Andy Kaufman or like not even that. It's like he's trolling all of us.
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, so because the other part of this is like we've seen how this ends up otherwise, right? Oh yeah, see that he looks a lot closer. Because the thing that's upsetting about this is he's not a bad looking dude without all that shit, right? Like he's a decent looking dude. I think my wife said that he used to date like one of the housewives' daughters that's like has the 2 model daughters. Okay. And so like he's doing fine in that regard. And I feel like if you already are at 14 million Twitter followers, there's no amount of cheekbones that are really going to like blast you past that, right?
I don't know, man. I mean, maybe he felt like he hit a wall, and this is the only way forward. He's got beef with like the Grammys right now too, because like his album was like #1. He had all these #1 songs off of it, and it didn't get a single nomination. And so yeah, he's got a group of fans behind him. Like this was like his he spent $7 million of his own money on the halftime show. Like, yeah, I don't know what part was the 7 mil. Like, how much better was it really? Like, I don't know. I'd have to see what the plans were before. But
so there was a part of it. There were a couple homages. I thought it was hilarious when all the dudes in masks and red blazers came out. I thought that was very funny.
Yeah,
but he also had that in like that kind of room of mirrors that reminded me. I think there's like an NSYNC video that's like that, but isn't there also like a Mace or Puff Daddy? And I don't mean Puff Daddy like an old white guy that doesn't realize he changed his name. I mean, back when he was Puff Daddy, wasn't there a video that was in like a mirrored room?
That one where they're doing this thing. No, that was, I can't remember the song, but yeah, it was a B.I.G. song too.
Was it? It wasn't Mo Money Mo Problems.
It was.
It?
It was my
Oh,
mom.
okay.
It was. Yeah.
Oh, can you pull up? Oh God, it's so abusive and I hate it. I don't have the self-esteem to ever have an employee in my life. That's what I. Can you pull up the Mo Money Mo Problems video briefly? I fucking hate myself. Oh, Cavin, I'm sorry. I'm gonna tell your wife that I'm embarrassed and ashamed to have asked you to do this. She's already mad at me. Yeah, I thought that like. What here's the other question is like, what does this dude do musically? And I want to start again by saying I'm not one of these old white guys that thinks that every hip hop artist or singer has to do like play their own instruments or whatever. Oh yeah, there it is. This is exactly the I played some you could go like way into it, Cavin.
Yeah, go there. Yeah, at one point you actually like clicked on it.
Yeah, you were almost there. Oh, here
like
we go.
that.
That's the exact that with like the red leather jacket on Mace and all the lights around. Oh man, there you go, right there. That's kind of what it felt like. It was an homage to me.
I wonder. I mean, maybe I don't know. That was probably the weirdest part to me. Like that was definitely the most memeable part of. I think I've already seen like shit going around of people being like, when I lose my keys and stuff. I think I saw Roy Wood Jr. Because it's just the whole camera and bouncing back and forth and all that.
I saw someone say it's like what their dish sees in the microwave while it's running, and it's just like his face blurring to one side or whatever. All right, we should talk. I guess we should talk about the actual game at some point. I think. I mean, if it's all fake, because another thing happened, like when Kanye put out $700 like slip-on shoes, I missed it completely. Like I don't get. I mean. First off, I've never paid. I know that this is going to be a tough thing for you to hear, Chase. How well do you and Cavin know each other, by the way?
Not too well. I mean, we've met some open mics and stuff and talked. Yeah. Like, I mean, we know each other.
Hand shook.
Okay, yeah. So did you know that?
I like him.
Did you know that Chase has a severe shoe addiction?
Dude, I grabbed a Yeezy as you were saying that, bro. Like,
he had a Yeezy within arm's reach. He didn't even.
Like just within reach right here, bro.
How much did that Yeezy cost?
That was a $230 shoe.
Oh my god, this is from a guy that's working at a temp job. Like this is crazy. It's insane.
No, this was an old life of mine. This was whenever I was a touring person that thought my life was always going to be that way. That thought there's no way comedy could go away. What could possibly make comedy go away? Yeah.
Nobody deserves to shower themselves in shoes more than a road feature, you know? Like...
Hey, I do a lot in merch, bro. I do a
lot. You should see if you could sell some Yeezys.
People at a certain point at a show, you're like, fuck, swap you shirt for shoe.
Look,
just one at a time.
I got one of these Yeezys in Tulsa. I got the other one in Oklahoma City. Like, but yeah, like I missed it. So like I'm perfectly willing to go. Like I don't get the thing going on with this dude. But if it's all a troll, then I'm with it. I'm completely on board. I think you've turned me around. If he's just doing this to promote an album and it's not all real and he's not losing his mind, fucking dude, I think you should do the Sammy Sosa thing, to be honest with you.
Dude, I would love that. Yeah. But yeah, it's apparently it's been mostly like him marketing this album. That's why he's just been showing up everywhere like as if he was in a car crash for the last year or whatever. But it's just been hard to pay attention to it because, you know, there's a goddamn pandemic going on weekend. I don't got time for your marketing. Like
True. Did you see the dude? I'm gonna find his name real quick. Joe Haig is a offensive lineman for the Buccaneers. And he had the rare chance as a big guy to catch a touchdown pass and he dropped it. Did you guys see that play?
In the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You have to be ready. Like, that's the iconic moment. That's the fridge moment. That's the fucking Vrabel moment. Like, that's the Philly special. Like, there's always one of those in the Super Bowl. That's when I knew the Super Bowl was going to be shit, was when he didn't catch that ball. It's like, that's our only moment of greatness that could have been was a 350-pound touchdown. But
well, but wasn't that on the drive that they didn't? That was like the only Patriots drive out of their first 5 or 6 that they didn't score on. So, like, if he had caught that, it might have actually made the Super Bowl worse.
Yeah, I mean, no, for sure. That was a moment where I tricked myself into thinking like, all right, here we go. Big 4th and goal stand. We stopped him. Mahomes is gonna drive 99 yards. Tony Romo
Oh,
was trying to call it and everything. Like,
I didn't even ask that. Who were you guys rooting for? Were you rooting for Kansas City? For the Kansas City football team?
yeah, I was going for the Kansas City football team. So here's my deal with Brady. I like Brady. I've pulled for Brady at most Super Bowls. I've just had enough. Like it's just enough. This 7th one, I didn't need like if six championships is good enough for Michael Jordan, like that should be good enough for you. Like you're being selfish at this point. That's kind of where I'm at. I was really ready to buy into like the new generation and Mahomes is going to win 2 Super Bowls in a row and I was going to watch him for the next 10 to 15 years chase Brady and so for Brady to come in and squash it at the very beginning and put that 6 championship distance between him and beat him in the head-to-head, like it's just so like upset. Like I'm glad, like he always gets the fairy tale ending for himself, and I don't feel like anybody else gets to celebrate it with him. Like it's just very much his life is great. Like
I saw a thing because I had a very similar experience. The Seahawks lost the Super Bowl after winning a Super Bowl,
right?
With a young. I saw a thing that said that in their first year as a starter. So Mahomes sat out his first year. He didn't start his first year, but in his first year as a starter, Mahomes did whatever he did, and then the second year he made it. He won the Super Bowl, and the third year Wilson got beat by Tom Brady, and the third year Mahomes got beat by Tom Brady. Obviously, Wilson hasn't been back yet, and so yeah, I think it's like pretty indicative of how fucking hard it is to be like. It's crazy that Brady is doing this consistently against these like young, potentially amazing quarterbacks, and he has 7 Super Bowls. I think you're wrong to think he's great. What'd you say? Did somebody say 8? Did somebody interrupt me? All right, I thought I heard an argument. I think you're wrong to be like, oh, he's greedy. I think it's like, this is what I view it as. Once you get past the part, because I think you and I both have, like, he's now in the same division as your stupid favorite football team.
There's no need to say it that way. No need to say it that
way. He beat my favorite football team in the Super Bowl. I think, like, once you can get past that part of him, why would you rather the best player in the history of the sport played in a time when you weren't even alive or watching football, right? Like, I've never understood this argument where people are like, well, I want Jack Nicklaus to be the best golfer and not Tiger Woods. It's like, why wouldn't you want to be like witness to the best?
Well, but we already were. That's my thing.
You're saying you already had.
Yeah, we were witness to the best. We saw the best. You're 43 years old. Like we've seen it. Like this one didn't do. I mean, I guess now you get the storyline of him going to another team, him doing it without Belichick. Like you get all of that, which is really, but that's just more of just for him getting to say fuck you to everybody else some more. Like that didn't really, to me, it didn't elevate him anymore. We saw the best, and now I feel like the next best could have been Mahomes. Still could be. I mean, obviously, still could be. But if you're 6-2 at this point and you're only 26 years old, it looks like, oh man, we might get to have watched like how we got to watch Jordan, and then the next year go to LeBron. Oh shit, we might get to see Brady and then go to Mahomes. But Mahomes is going to retire before Tom Brady. That's kind of where I'm at now, is that he's going to outlast him. So who knows? I guess I need to be on board with, what we think, 12 championships? I think that'll be, is that when he'll be satisfied? Will he finally be satisfied?
Do you think he's going to retire?
Brady? No, he's going to play 40. He's been saying 45 for years.
Gotcha. Just to end on the same number as his favorite president.
Yeah, absolutely. It was all plotted out years before us, Casey. We saw it years before. And he's definitely going to at least play to 45, which is only 2 more seasons. I mean, next season is going to be his 44 year season. Yeah. So, I mean, it honestly, the way he looked this year and the way he just looked in the Super Bowl, like, dude, 46, 47 wouldn't surprise me. Like, I mean, I guess every year is its own thing, but he won the Super Bowl this year. Like, he didn't slow down at all.
Yeah, I got to think, like, part of his motivation had to have been to say fuck you to Bill Belichick. And it's like, I bet he didn't expect it to happen so quickly, right?
No.
Like he had to imagine like it's going to take a year to like get acquainted with this team and to get, make myself a cultural fit. And then the next year will really be ready for prime time. And then, yeah, he just goes out and has like, I saw a thing. First off, he scored his first touchdown in the first quarter of a Super Bowl.
Ever.
And it was like with 35 seconds left or something like that. He almost didn't do it anyway. He threw a touchdown pass to Rob Gronkowski, who, by the way, like I used to have a podcast where we would talk about this a lot, but there's almost nobody in professional sports I'd rather hang out with than Rob Gronkowski.
Oh, he's a good time. Yeah, he definitely seems like a good time.
Yeah,
I mean, he's got all the CTE, but like, I think that makes him drink more. I guess I don't know what he definitely knows how to party.
It's funny that there were remember when the New England Patriots had two really young and promising tight ends, both of whom apparently have a ton of CTE, and they had a little bit different outcomes. Cavin, are you familiar with this?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, so the Aaron Hernandez story ends quite differently than the Rob Gronkowski story. Is the point?
We still got time. All right, Gronk's book. That book is not, the final chapter has not been written. All right, hold on.
There is a family annihilation somewhere.
He could have multiple murders and a posthumous outing as a homosexual in his future. And wow, what a world we would live in. And
you can't tell me Tampa Bay's investigating all of their missing persons. They're like, oh, we get a ring and we have a cleaner street. That's fine. That's fine.
Gronkowski's good for the community.
Gronk for mayor. Also, I was making a lot of Jason Pierre Paul jokes on Twitter. And one of my favorite things is to make a joke about Jason Pierre, because if the listeners don't know or whatever, Jason Pierre Paul a couple of years ago blew off a couple of his fingers.
Don't need him.
Yeah,
don't need him. Apparently.
So I mean, like these aren't like I'm not saying these are brilliant jokes, but he like batted down a pass, and I say, oh, Jason Pierre Paul really got a finger on that ball, and like people are like, and I think at one point he got penalized for like a personal foul. And I said, I don't think that Jason Pierre-Paul laid a finger on Patrick Mahomes. And somebody like emphatically agreed with me as though I was like, I think that was a bad call, and not just making a joke about this, how this guy has no fingers on one of his hands. But so what I heard this thing today too, Tony Romo said about him, or it was Jim Nantz is the other dude?
Yeah.
He said that Jason Pierre-Paul has never lost a playoff game.
Yeah, all 3 times he's got in, he's won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that is wild. That he has more missing fingers than playoff losses.
It's true.
Cavin is not amused. Oh yeah, look at this. Looks like he's throwing up a gang sign with the. Can you zoom in on that, Cavin?
Oh yeah, hopefully.
Oh my God, he looks like the dude on Happy Gilmore after his hand gets.
Dude, yeah.
What's that guy's name?
Chubbs.
Chubbs,
Well,
yeah.
I'm so happy that's the one time I can contribute something.
It's
like,
all in the hips.
I know Happy Gilmore though. You got any other Happy Madison references you want?
We know where to go. Yeah, I didn't realize how bad it was. Like I knew, I guess I never actually seen it. I was under the assumption it was just like the tips of his fingers. I didn't like he's missing like a whole finger.
Yeah, like a bunch of them, like in a row.
Like, I know, but one's really gone. Like it's really not there. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, man, that's that's the whole like Eli Manning thing of like Eli Manning winning 2 Super Bowls, but he only went to the playoffs like 4 times in his 25-year career. Somehow, like he just made them count when he got in.
Do you think Eli Manning's a Hall of Famer?
I think they're going to give it to him. I don't think he's a Hall of Famer, but I think he'll get in. Like just the 2 Super Bowls, the 2 Super Bowl MVPs. I think that's people are just going to look at that, and that's hard to argue against. He's got a couple Pro Bowls. So there's enough other stuff to make it make sense. But no, he shouldn't. He's lost the same amount of games as he's won. Like he threw 30 interceptions a couple times. Like there was a good 5-year stint there where it was like, is he even like, can he play football? Like, what is he? Like, what is he? Odell Beckham's running wide open all day and you can't get I don't.
He did. I mean, he stuck around long enough that he also put up like he hit some milestones that people.
Yeah, that's the thing too.
About, right?
Like his top yardage numbers and stuff are all like in the top 7 or whatever. So
yeah. That's always just like an interesting one to me, because I think like if you never looked at the numbers and didn't care about the Super Bowls, you go like on reputation and on ability, is Eli Manning a Hall of Famer? Absolutely not. But then you add in all that other shit, and you're like, well, yeah, like I think it's a lock.
Yeah, he's got all the achievements to get in. All
right, did you guys? I wish that I could be in Squattacoochee, Louisiana, listening to somebody. What was that? Chattahoochee? That was in a country song, right? Way down yonder in Chattahoochee or something like that. Listening to some people react to the first female referee making, by the way, like she was involved in some of the most controversial or close or important calls of that game. It's not like she's hidden off, she
was all in that game. I saw it a lot.
And I would be very interested to see what some Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri suburbs or rural regions in the Kansas City, Missouri region. Well, I'd like to hear what people were saying.
For sure. Because like there's this whole you see it in all sports. Like anytime there's a female or even just like somebody that didn't play sports, that's like either like an analyst or broadcaster or something like that. Like there's this whole side that goes like, well, if you didn't play the game, you shouldn't be able to talk about it. Like, How could you possibly learn what's going on out here with your tiny lady brain? Like there's no way if you didn't put the pads on that you could understand if somebody was past the football and that's offsides or not. Like there's no way that you could put that together. So like, I can imagine. Any call that she makes is just going to immediately be like any controversial call is going to be blown way out of proportion by it.
Meanwhile, Bob Costas is a fucking Adonis that like you can't deny his athletic ability. That 5'3" like Tim Kirkjian was fucking throwing 98, dude. Like, come on.
Honestly, the biggest downside of losing Parlor is you can't see what those guys are saying right now.
Yeah.
Honestly, a national tragedy.
So I don't know. Brady won the MVP. I think that seemed pretty obvious that was going to happen. Even if his legacy wasn't what it is, I think that he was going to win it anyway. I have a story for this, so if you don't feel bad about it. But do you have any like? Have you ever had a crazy like Super Bowl party that you went to?
No, not like that. I saw your notes. I saw you're definitely just based off how you how you named whatever this is about to be. I don't have anything to match that. No.
Cavin? No,
not.
Okay, when I was
just regular old drinking and watching football at my parties, man.
Well, so the party that I went to that ends crazy. It starts out pretty much like that. We're drinking. I think there was probably some weed going around. I was too drunk to drive by the end of this, but what I was not too drunk to do was, while someone else was driving, to stick my head out the window. This was our prank. This was the level of sophistication we had, like, for pranks in high school, is if someone we would just like go by a gas station and we would go, stop pumping gas, asshole. We probably didn't use the word asshole, if I'm being honest. It was the early 2000s, but we would say a very offensive thing to that person for pumping gas, right?
No need to get yourself in trouble. Why are you telling on yourself?
My friend...
Asshole was totally believable. I believe that back then you called somebody an asshole.
One of my best friends back then was this Salvadorian dude, and we still are in contact, but not the same way. But he thought this was the funniest thing, is I'd be driving in like downtown Seattle, like South Seattle, right, where it starts to get into like the industrial part, and it's a little hairier in that part of downtown Seattle, or in that part of Seattle. And my friend, the Salvadorian dude, would open my window, scream white power, and then hide. He would like try to go behind the where the seatbelt connects to the frame of and he thought that was hilarious, because very obviously, by the way, if these people catch up to us, they're not going to believe that the Salvadorian dude in the car is the one that screamed white power at them.
No, at that point, who gives a fuck to figure it out? I heard white power come from this car. I don't like
I mean, he might catch an ass beating also, but if he does, it's going to be after they're worn out from smashing my fucking body into a pulp. You know what I mean?
for sure.
So we're driving. We leave this party, like 8 of us in 2 cars, and we're the second car in line. And when we passed this, it was a red Ford F-150. I yell at him. I was like, "Don't make that turn, asshole!" And what I didn't know is that our friends in front of us had also yelled something at him. Like they had the same brilliant and original idea. And so he goes from taking a left turn onto a freeway, which is what he was going to do, to pulling into our lane. And now he's chasing us down. If you're familiar with the area, down, it was Meridian in Puyallup. We take a right onto River Road. He chases us into a Kmart parking lot. We're like flying. 2 cars, by the way, in front of him, because I don't know how he's corralled all of us, right? Like, why are the 2 cars following each other? That's the stupidest thing. The first thing we should do is split apart. We're like, so finally we stop, and he stops, and he starts to get out of his car and reach for something. I don't know if it's like a gun or a pipe or a fucking bat or what, like, but he's reaching for something. We start driving again. He gets back in. He's chasing us. We go further down River Road. We're finally on this like kind of back road that's like very like remote on the Puyallup Indian tribal land. And he turns off his lights. And we're like, oh, fuck. Like, this is the nightmare, right? Like, this is how a horror movie starts. This is how a teenage popular horror movie starts. And we finally came up with this. This is, by the way, the whitest of privilege, what I'm going to say right now. We go, listen, we got to just drive to a police station. Like, we're all drunk and high. And I go, we just got to drive to a police station. Let's hope we can get there before he smashes us. And then I don't know, he must have, I think when he turned off his lights, he just like was like, well, this is insane. I'm chasing a bunch of fucking 19-year-olds.
Yeah, I was about to say, I wonder what's going through his mind also at that point. Like,
I think it started as rage that turned, like, amplified to blind rage when I yelled at him as the second person.
Yeah.
And and then so
no, I think he made his point. I think he made his point pretty strong.
I will tell you,
regrets around Kmart. Like, what are we doing here? It doesn't work. I'm a Walmart man. We know that.
All right, I think that probably rounds out the Super Bowl stuff, and then the only thing that is left on the list, I think, is there's a couple celebrity fights going on. One of them is, I think this already happened, right? Jose Canseco got knocked out by the Barstool intern.
Yeah, man.
Well, I should have asked Cavin to if you. This one's probably harder to find, Cavin, but if you can find that, I would love to watch it.
I think it just happened last night. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Canseco like took a dive, bro.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Canseco's on the take.
Yeah, man.
Canseco.
There's some he's got a hurt shoulder rumors going around that he just needed to check. Like yeah, I mean that intern dude came out swinging, but like the fight's over in 20 seconds. Like yeah, it's I mean we could watch the whole thing whenever Kevin finds
I'm trying
it.
to find it here.
You're
telling me Jose Canseco doesn't have like the moral integrity to stand up and fight? Wow. I am
You'd
shocked.
think when you put your name on something, you show up for it, but that's just not how he was raised, apparently. I don't know.
Well, in the meantime, who is it Jake Paul or Logan Paul? Someone's fighting.
So they both fight, so I have trouble figuring out which one's which. But yeah, one's about to get Mayweather. I don't.
Oh, okay, and then maybe the other one's going to get McGregor.
They're trying. Yeah, one of them's been baiting McGregor. I don't know if it's going to happen or not, but he's trying. Which also just makes me mad because I've had a bit for like. I mean, I was doing it before the pandemic, where I was saying that I'm going to start calling out Conor McGregor like now, and so that way, whenever I get famous, I can cash out and he can beat my ass on pay-per-view. I've done this bit like I was doing it for a couple months before, and then like the pandemic happens, and this fucking Logan Paul dude is running it to like a T. Like I have documentation. You can go back on I'm pretty sure my first episode of my podcast, Bucks and Nuggets, I'm yelling about fighting McGregor. And yeah, dude, it's all. I gotta wait till the next cocky fighter comes up 5 years from now. I gotta start talking shit to him. But
I had a moment recently.
I love it, this paycheck.
I had to drop a bit recently because a person. Now, let me say this: 95% of our bit is different, but I know for a fact that I did the part in front of that person several years ago, like the first 5% of the joke. And I think that like the premise is good. And like, there's probably like I could get more out of the premise. So it's not like, I mean, like I said, it's not the same joke, but I'm like, fuck, now I got to figure out, because it's like, it's the same. Like the start of the joke is the same. And I'm not saying that person, I don't even know if I was telling it that way back then, but I remember that premise. I've had this premise since 2016, not to brag, but I'm not fucking dumping jokes often enough, I suppose.
Show your receipts.
Yeah. I have a set list from a show that I know I did with this person. I talked to him. We're good. Oh, here we go.
Let's do this.
Okay, so Conseco.
He comes out in
Oh
fear,
shit!
right?
If he doesn't end up like truly knocked out, I'm gonna be. Wait. He did kind of let him go a little bit after he went down, huh?
I mean, there's some legit hits in there, but I mean, this is that's 2 minutes into the fight.
By the way, I saw like a random Barstool intern. This dude's in better shape than any of us. This intern at Barstool.
Oh,
that's a low bar though, Kate.
I know, that's true. That's true. We have Jeff Dunham's puppet and two fucking fat guys.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's it certainly isn't Nate Robinson. Like Nate Robinson put on if you found out that Nate Robinson threw it, you're like, damn, that's some good acting.
Right. No, there's no acting in that. That dude was asleep.
All right. So what I want to know is who, and now I found out that Chase is a big hack, but who is the celebrity you would call out, and for how much money would it be?
Oh, you son of a bitch. I mean, it was McGregor. That's
why no, now your bit's fucking gone, dude. Your bit's gone. Jake Paul took it. He's a brilliant comedian, brilliant stand-up comedian. Whichever Paul took it.
Who I want? So here's the thing. I actually might not want to throw down with the Paul brothers because they apparently got heavy hands. So I don't know. Conseco, there's still some money in Conseco. I feel like we could get that going.
Well, I guess the question is too: are you going to take a dive, or are you not going to? Does that make it too easy to just take a dive, or?
I'm gonna go in. Legit training, trying my hardest, but we know that just can't. It's just not gonna work out. Like my bet, like me doing my best is still gonna be me. I might as well dive. So, but I would legit go into it. I would go into it legit, but I'm definitely gonna lose. Let's see I want to fight James Harden. That's who I want.
Okay.
I want to take James Harden out. Because I'm tired of him looking for foul calls. I'm tired of his isolation offense. I don't like that he thinks that he needs to go to a fucking super team to win a championship when he averages 40 points a game. I want James Harden. I want fat James Harden, which I think is just regular James Harden now. And yeah, that's what I want. I want to take
did you see first off how much weight he lost like in days after going to the Nets? Also, my Brooklyn Nets. You're going to take on my Brooklyn Nets.
James Harden? Right.
Yeah.
I forgot that that's your sleeper team.
Yeah, me a lifelong Brooklyn Nets fan. I can't believe that you would do that. I think if I was going to be like the most fun, I would just let Gilbert Gottfried beat the shit out of me. I think it's what I do. Like both hands tied behind my back. Like. Be a punching bag. Like that's the fight. Is I'm a punching bag. It's just how long can I last with Gilbert Gottfried punch me in the face. But I guess if I was gonna like really fight somebody, and I wanted it to be like a compelling and close fight, I'm taking Nolan Ryan today. That's what I want. Like 80-year-old Nolan Ryan who destroyed Robin Ventura.
Yeah,
iconically destroyed Robin Ventura. Let's see. How old is Nolan Ryan? He's got to be fucking a million years old.
I mean, yeah, he played till he was in his 40s. He was doing the Tom Brady thing. Is it 47? Is that the number?
I think he was 47 or 48. He's 74 years old right now. I want, and by the way, real first name is Lynn. I would bring that up in our promotions. I would definitely be going hard on the fact that his real first name is Lynn. I probably still would get my fucking ass beat by Nolan Ryan, but
you just got to stay out of headlock. If he gets you in a headlock, it's over.
Yeah, that's true. We got to go MMA so that he can use his signature move, I think.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's not fair.
Right. Yeah, if you're just throwing hands, you got a chance.
I'm laughing because that guy's old enough to the song "A Boy Named Sue" has a lot of resonance with him, and you're gonna bring up that he's got a girl's name. You're gonna do that to Lynn? Like, no, dude, that's a bad idea.
Yeah, he's like
I'll say this: my grandfather's name was Lynn, and he'll beat all your asses. So I just want to put that out there.
Such a low bar.
Like, Lynn Semino was about his shit. So
consecutive stares beat my ass.
You gotta regroup.
All right, wrap us up, Cavin, and then we'll call her a podcast.
Oh man, I think my celebrity fight would be I just have this belief that Tom Cruise can actually do everything that he does in his movies. That's just a belief I have. So I wanna finally have it proven.
I would love to see Tom Cruise climb you and beat the shit out of your head.
Yeah. Well, I know Justin Bieber they said that they were gonna fight, but I just want to make it happen. I would let him. I would convert to Scientology if he could beat me in a fight. Honestly, it would do wonders for my career. I don't think I'd lose either way. That's
true. I don't think any of us are losing overall in this because our whole thing is like, humiliation on a public stage. So I don't.
McGregor talked shit about Mayweather for 2 years until they went on a big talk shit about each other tour and made money from selling out arenas, talking shit about each other. He gets his ass kicked in like 5 rounds, makes like $100 million, and is good. Like, just takes the next 2 years off. Doesn't even do his regular job. He lost that fight, and no one doesn't even come up. It just happened.
Dude, I remember I have a very sad attachment to that fight because I was in Richland. The Saturday when you get done in Richland is like the saddest because you're like, do I just leave now? Like, should I just leave now? Because it's so stupid to stay here overnight. And usually what I end up doing is I just leave Saturday night and get home at 2 a.m. or whatever. And I especially did that this time because I was emceeing and didn't have a hotel room. So I put all my shit in Cameron Mazuka's hotel room. And I remember I'm watching the fight on Periscope in portrait mode, which is not a great way to watch a fight. And I'm just exhausted and a little bit buzzed, pulling my suitcase out of another person's hotel room to drive my fucking Toyota pickup single cab back to Tacoma. And it was very much a sad road moment for me there's no joy at that point. 100% of the joy from the weekend is gone. And now I'm trying to regain any of it by staring at this fucking phone, watching a blurry image of a bad fight.
Yeah, I think you lost that fight. I think that's who the loser was of that fight. I think that's what we just found out. There was a loser, turns out.
All right, I guess let's promote ourselves and we'll stop and figure out how we're going to put this thing up. I guess, Cavin, we'll start with you.
Sure, you can find me on any social media at Cavin_egg. And then I also host a podcast that's called By Its Cover, where we watch movies using only the covers we find on streaming services.
And a soon-to-be guest is one Casey McLain.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. I'm at Chase_Myers on everything. I have a podcast outside of this one called Buckets of Ducats. You can go to bucketsducats.com. It'll take you to all the links to watch or listen.
I'm at the Casey McLain, a podcast called Nobody Likes Casey McLain, and stand-up dates and shit at thecaseymclain.com/calendar. And I'm find me on TikTok. Are you guys on TikTok? I know Cavin's on TikTok. Chase, are you on TikTok? Get on TikTok.
I haven't done it yet, man. I'm still trying to figure out how to hook my Zoom up to get the mic working.
Never mind. Let's focus on what's the most important first.
Yeah.
All right.